Welcome everyone to the midweek Moisky News. Before we dive into the three subjects I have planned, there is a PMQ stream on this channel tonight at 9:30 PM GMT. Also, I have recently restarted uploading to the Moisky Reads channel. Edgar Allan Poe is the target. If you're at all interested in listening to me just read some stories, link to the channel in the description down below. So to start, we're going to go with foreign aid. We've covered it on this channel before, oddly enough, where it was discovered we were sending, the United Kingdom that is, money to China on technological infrastructure, which is a very weird thing for us to be doing, don't you think? Considering they are one of the most powerful economies in the world and one of the most technologically advanced, even though they are stunted in about 80% of their key sectors, certainly when compared to the United Kingdom. Well, another country that receives foreign aid from us is a country I firmly believe we should not be sending money to, where every year we send £300,000 to the People's Democratic Republic of North Korea. Last year, under the foreign aid budget of £15.2 billion, £8 million was sent to Venezuela, 67.8 to China. By law, we are required to spend 0.7% of our GDP on overseas aid. Understandably, many think that sending money to North Korea makes the Brits look and think, are we really spending our money wisely? At this point, I'd rather send it to Santa Claus and invest in infrastructure in the North Pole. The UK government has, however, said that they don't give funds to North Korea, or Venezuela for that matter. But considering the current circumstances, the criticism will always remain because currently lots of money, 190 billion so far, has been spent on schemes to keep people going without work. So that 15.2 could really make a dent in that. So when the government says they're not actually giving money to North Korea, they are half telling a lie and half telling the truth. You see, they don't give it to the government. They give it to North Korean charities or international charities that act in North Korea. However, considering how North Korea treats anyone in their country, they get the money. You know they get the money. Moving on from that, we're going to talk about Brexit. Yeah, because something actually happened that I had thought would happen. The EU blinked first. There are talks recommencing today and, well, they caved in on a Brexit demand. This week, by the way, is one of the final times they get to negotiate properly. The major concession is that the EU is going to drop its demands on agreeing a broad agreement on the areas of divergence before drafting a trade text. Barnier was actually the reason this had never happened. He had refused and was intent on agreeing many of the elements before proceeding. But Barnier's now conceded and admitted, okay, I bent over and took it like a champ. This backing down and U-turning is a sign that the EU is going to be more receptive to discussions, which happens to coincide with the fact they had backed down from their threat to suspend trade talks because of the internal market bill created by the United Kingdom. Yes. Because of these concessions, UK officials are now expected to negotiate on other detailed elements, which would include fishing quotas, which is quite handy because there is an idea being put forward, a sweetener if you will. The sweetener is that the United Kingdom will give them a 3-year transition period to use our waters. However, for every year from 2021 to 2024, the quotas that EU fishermen receive will be reduced. And I don't just mean by one fish, I mean by many tons of fish. That sounds like it's bad for the EU. It is. They're our waters. Give them back. And also the fact that we have already signed an international fishing agreement with somebody else. And seriously, we're okay with it because it makes us money. And it's our fishing waters. We do what we want. If I want to put a duck house in there, I'm going to put a duck house in there. And then I'm going to charge the taxpayer for it. UK Fisheries have warned while deals have been signed and agreements are being put forward, they have warned that the UK should not back down on fisheries. The UK is currently fixed. because they want to replace the common fisheries policy with a system of what they've called zonal attachment that would offer a significant increase in catches for British fishing fleets. Now, the current economic zone is part of common EU waters. We receive a fixed share based on how much stock its fishermen caught during a reference period from the 70s. Under the new system proposed by the UK, the two sides would agree on what percentage of shared stocks are attached to each of their European economic zones each year. Catch quotas would then be organised in line with that very percentage. Understandably, there are countries within the EU that are against this. France is one of them. They've taken what's called a maximalist position, in that the status quo must be protected at all times. Since this offer has been made public, the EU have had to also issue a statement saying, they're going to go through this proposal. The EU has also pushed for the UK to accept block state aid rules, which do not allow unfair subsidies to be granted. But the UK's position is vastly different, so they're going to have to blink on that one as well. Because the UK and Japan have agreed a trade deal that's worth a lot of money, the EU are a tad concerned. In PMQs today, Boris mentioned the US and trade with the US. Again, this has the EU concerned because we're already proving we can get stuff done when we're not talking through you. Turns out our dulcet, gorgeous, beautiful, splendid, spiffing voices, and Boris is waffling, get things done. As a final thing, the Internal Market Bill passed through Parliament again. Many MPs, Tory, Labour, SNP and so on, have spoken out against this, but it's still passed. We will be discussing this on Friday, without Trups, for a political stream of sorts. With all that we cover on this channel, I would love to know what you think. Please do let me know in the comments down below. As a final thing, please consider liking, sharing, and if you're not, subscribing to this channel. It greatly helps me. Thank you.